Hello, fellow football connoisseurs, and welcome back to the Quick Take. We have a lot of news stories again today. Of course, Riccardo Calafiori, the Italian defender, has once again been linked to Chelsea, and it looks like Chelsea are going to really pursue this deal with some quotes coming out or some opinion pieces regarding Enzo Maresca and what he wants from his defenders, with Calafiori being highlighted as one of the big targets for Chelsea this summer. We also have some news regarding Victor Osman, maybe back on the table, and the future of Ben Chilwell is apparently uncertain. We'll get into that in just a minute. And we also have an update regarding the goalkeeper situation. But starting off with the Riccardo Calafiori update. This coming in from Fabrizio Romano about 36 minutes ago. Arsenal and Chelsea remain both interested in Riccardo Calafiori as revealed last week. Both clubs have explored conditions of the deal. Expensive, as Basel would get almost 50% of the fee. I think it comes to around 50 million euros altogether. Calafiori gave green light to Juventus, but Bologna preference is to sell abroad, and I think Juventus have just signed Thuram for around 20 million euros, and those who know Italian football clubs know how little money they have to work with. So it looks like Juventus may be out of the race for Riccardo Calafiori, and a move to the Premier League is on the horizon for the Italian defender, who can play centre-back and can play left-back. We're just going to get into some more stuff regarding Calafiori here and why he is linked to Chelsea. This coming out from Matt Law DT. Maresca wants players who can play more than one position or role. Some inside Chelsea are referring to them as Swiss Army knives. One option considered is Calafiori, as Maresca wants a defence that can operate as a 4 or a 3 at the back. Of course, the right back inverts into the midfield alongside the deep line playmaker in that double pivot in front of the back 3. But I'm just going to look at his FBref rankings here, and this is where Calafiori really stands out. You know, he's a really exciting player, and this is why I'm excited for us to get him. I'm just going to go through his stats here, the key stats. Let's just say that. Assists, 99th percentile, doing very well there. Progressive passes received, 0.88 per 90. That's in the 88th percentile there. He's also doing really well for key passes per 90, 0.65, 97th percentile compared to other centre-backs. And for a defender, he's quite attacking oriented in terms of his output and what he creates for his side. We see this through his goals and shot creating actions. Shot creating actions, 1.76 per 90. That's in the 97th percentile. Shot creating actions, live ball passes, 94th percentile. We also have his defensive metrics over here, which are also very impressive. Interceptions per 90, 1.92, 96th percentile. Passes blocked, 0.96 per 90, 97th percentile. You're looking at here, tackles won, 1.23, 84th percentile. Nothing crazy there, but it's still better than a large majority of defenders he's going up against in this metrics battle. He's also doing really well for touches, 80.54 per 90, take-ons attempted and take-ons successful, both in the 92nd percentile there. But again, going back to his defensive side of his game, fouls drawn, 92nd percentile there. Interceptions and tackles won, doing really strongly here. Interceptions per 90, 1.92, 96th percentile, and tackles won, 1.23 per 90, 84th percentile. And let's not forget ball recoveries, where he's sitting in the 98th percentile, 7.43 ball recoveries per 90, and he's very good in the air. Aerial duels lost, 0.92 per 90, 89th percentile, and of course, percentage of aerial duels won, 71.4%. That puts him into the 95th percentile, and he's not a small player either. He stands around 6 foot tall. I really think it could be a fantastic option for Chelsea, as mentioned earlier by Matt Law. Maresca wants players to be very versatile in terms of what they can provide for the team. Calafiori, he can play, as I said, centre-back, left-sided centre-back, or he can start at left-back and actually, as the back 3 kind of moves more centrally to take up the space left out by the right-back, who is now inverting into the midfield. I can quite easily see Calafiori playing very well in that left side of centre-back position, kind of being really involved in the build-up play, making things happen from that position. And we see from his heat map here that it is somewhat similar, if not very similar, to the heat map of Enzo Maresca's previous left-back, James Justin. But let me know your thoughts on Riccardo Calafiori in the comment section down below. I'll be reading all the comments. But again, this brings into question what is going to be happening with the left-back position, and one player comes to mind who should really be moved on, and that's Ben Chilwell. And we have this coming in from Matt Law DT. Breaking: the future of Ben Chilwell is uncertain. Not surprising considering how well Marc Cucurella has been playing. We have players like Levi Cole, who of course isn't a naturally gifted kind of left back. He can play there, but it's not his best position. And if we want to bring in Ricardo Calafiori, he will be playing where Ben Chilwell will be starting. And I don't think it's a controversial opinion to say Calafiori is probably going to be a much better player than Ben Chilwell will be in that position. And so it makes sense that we are looking to move on Ben Chilwell. Of course, he is close friends with new arrival Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. We've seen some photos of them at Cobham. And of course, let's not forget regarding Ben Chilwell, his availability. Of course, last season he missed a number of games through knee problems, fitness-related injuries, and of course, his hamstring injury, which he has dealt with in back-to-back seasons. Last season he missed 5 games. In fact, no, last season he missed 20 games across his time with Chelsea and with England. And then last season he missed 23 matches with the hamstring injury. So maybe it's time to move on Ben Chilwell. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section down below. But moving on to the next news story of the day, and this is regarding Victor Osimhen. Chelsea are looking at strikers. This is known now. We have brought in Mark Guyi, I think his name is pronounced. That sounded terrible. Sorry, guys. I can't pronounce his name. But we are looking at strikers still, and it looks like Victor Osimhen could be back on the radar for Chelsea. This is coming in from Matt Law. Breaking: Chelsea have not ruled out a move for Osman if the price drops, but Saudi Arabia is more likely for him, and the club are not rushing due to the belief Nkunku could play false 9. Of course, Nkunku, who played, I don't even know how many games last season, 4 games? He was unavailable for the vast majority of the season. Putting your hopes on playing a player like Christopher Nkunku in the false 9 position, in my opinion, is a bit naive. But a few days ago, we had this news story which kind of suggests that the price for Victor Osimhen has been lowered. Napoli are ready to lower their initial valuation for Victor Osimhen and his €150 million release clause to €100 million to free up much needed transfer funds for new boss Antonio Conte, who is understood to be desperate to land Chelsea striker Romelu Lukaku this summer. So maybe there is still a chance that Victor Osimhen will come to Chelsea. The biggest thing I can see stopping this deal from happening is not the price tag. Again, if he is lowered to around £80 million, I think that's a very doable deal for Chelsea, but it will be the wage structure. Chelsea really are obsessed with reducing the wage bill, which makes sense. Again, Chelsea's matchday revenue is not nearly as high as other clubs like Manchester United, where it's nearly double. So Chelsea are needing to really pull back on the amount they're paying per season in terms of the wages for the players, especially when we don't have Champions League football money coming in. So do you think there is still a chance Victor Osimhen can come to Chelsea? Yes or no? And will you splash the cash to sign the Nigerian? Moving on to our last news story of the day, and this is regarding goalkeepers. Robert Sanchez is expected to start as the first choice goalkeeper and will be expected to perform a similar role to Ederson and Hermansen. As you can see here, I've just compared Robert Sanchez to Ederson last season. Sanchez played 1,500 minutes less, roughly. But as you can see, regarding short passes and long passes, Ederson is wiping the floor with him. It's just not really something Robert Sanchez is capable of doing to that high of an extent, in my opinion. I think we be found out. I think he made a number of mistakes playing the ball out from the back last season anyway, under the likes of Maurizio Pochettino. To see him try and do that to a high level under Enzo Maresca, I think it just ends poorly. And as you can see, it was in fact even worse when he was at Brighton being coached by Roberto De Zerbi, a manager who loves to implement playing out from the back, that kind of style of play. As you can see here, short passes again, really low, and long passes, low again. Passes in general, even worse from his time at Chelsea, and nowhere near Ederson. So I think this is a big mistake going into next season, having Sanchez be the number 1 option. I think Chelsea would be wise to maybe look at what's happening in the Euros right now with Giorgio Mamardashvili for Georgia, and of course Diogo Costa, the penalty hero for Portugal, a player I have recommended extensively on the channel. I just don't think going into the next season with Robert Sanchez as the number 1 choice goalkeeper is the wisest choice if you really want to implement that passing out from the back, the goalkeeper basically becoming an outfield defender, that kind of style of play. I don't think Sanchez is up for it. I'm happy to eat my words and for him to turn into the world's best ball-playing goalkeeper, but that's just my opinion. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. I've been The Quick Take, and I'll catch you all on the next one. See you later.